The title says it all. Xbox just changed everything if this is real. What is up, everybody? Jimmy or Chaos. Today, we're going to talk about what could honestly be one of the biggest Xbox stories ever. Because if this leaked information ends up being accurate, Microsoft may have finally figured out the bridge between physical media and the all-digital future. Before anybody gets too excited, I do want to make something very clear out of the gate. This is based on reporting from The Verge on leaked internal documents. Microsoft has not officially announced all these features. So until they do, as of the making of this video, we treat it as a leak, not confirmation. That being said, if this leak is even mostly accurate, I think Xbox is making one of the smartest moves we've seen in gaming in a long time. So I want to start with what grabbed everybody's attention immediately. According to the leaked documents, Project Helix, the codename for Microsoft's next Xbox, is being designed to play games from every single Xbox generation. Let that sink in. The original Xbox, 2001, Xbox 360, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, plus PC games, all under one house, one roof. If Microsoft pulls that off, this isn't just a backwards compatibility feature. This would basically become one giant Xbox ecosystem where almost everything you've ever collected over the last 25 years follows you to the next generation. Think about that for a second. How many of you still have an original copy of Halo? Maybe you have Gears of War on the Xbox 360 sitting, collecting dust on a shelf. Maybe you got a stack of Xbox One games that you don't want to buy all over again. For years, one of Xbox's biggest strengths has been backwards compatibility, but this feels like they're trying to take it to an entirely different level. Now, this next part is kind of what surprised me, shocked me. The disc to digital conversion. So according to the report, Xbox One and Xbox Series physical discs could potentially be converted into digital licenses. That's something a lot of people have been asking for a long time. Every generation we hear the same argument. I own the game physically. Why can't I just prove I own it and play it digitally? Microsoft may actually have a solution if this ends up being true. Now, before everybody starts celebrating, clapping your hands, pumping your fists, there's a catch. Publishers have to opt in. I think that's the biggest detail in this entire story that I want you guys to understand. Microsoft can build the technology, they can create the infrastructure, but they don't actually own every game. Publishers still control the rights to their products, and according to the leaked documents, they're going to decide whether their games participate. Should they participate? Absolutely. It's the right thing to do for the consumers. Will they all look at it that way? Who knows, to be honest with you. Don't expect every single game you've ever owned to suddenly become available. Some publishers... There's going to be a lot of publishers that jump all over this. Rightfully so, they should. But there's going to be ones that don't participate, never participate. Some games probably can't participate because of licensing issues. Think about the racing games with expired car licenses. I mean, you've got sports games with older player agreements, movie tie-in games. There are all kinds of legal reasons why older titles disappear from digital stores in the first place. Those same issues don't magically disappear just because Microsoft builds a new system where you put your disc in and then you can receive a digital code. But with that being said, here's why I think it's big. I think it's a huge win. Microsoft seems to understand something Sony is not willing to embrace or understand. People care about ownership. Even if we are barreling towards an all-digital future, which we are. People don't want to feel like the thousands of dollars they invested in physical collections over the years suddenly don't matter, because it does matter. That was your money, your time, your effort. You did that. You earned that money, you bought those games, and you collected those games. That's your property. I think that's one of the biggest fears surrounding digital gaming. You buy something digitally, and then a license expires, a publisher removes it, and then I guess the storefront shuts down, and suddenly, guess what? Something you thought you owned because you spent your hard-earned tax money on it, well, becomes a little more complicated. Physical media has always felt safer because you could literally hold it in your hand. So Microsoft, it looks like, they're trying to find that middle ground. So instead of telling us, the players, hey, sorry, physical games are dead, like it feels like Sony's doing, honestly, they're potentially saying, hey, let's see if we can bring your collection with you as you go down the line, as you get a new console. And not only is it kind of brilliant, but it kind of incentivizes us to want to get that next Xbox console because we know all of our past collecting is safe. I think that's the smarter message here. And I want to talk about PC support too, because I don't think enough people are paying attention to this part, so I want to shed some light on it. We've known for a while that Xbox and Windows have been getting closer together. Xbox Play Anywhere has been growing, and Game Pass spans console and PC, right? Microsoft's been very open about not viewing Xbox as a console anymore. They're trying to view Xbox as a platform. So Project Helix seems like that next logical step. Instead of buying a console that completely separates you from your PC library, well, just imagine, you log into your Xbox account and you see your Xbox games and your supported PC games. They're all sitting in one unified library. That is a very Microsoft approach, if you ask me. I don't think they're trying to compete with Windows at all. They are trying to merge Xbox into Windows, and that's where the industry's heading. The question I keep asking myself is, what does this mean for the future of console generations? Because we always talk about our console is going to phase out, not be a thing. We did a video not too long ago about all the crap that Sony's going through. Are we even going to get a PSX? Are the sales going to justify it? I mean, if every game you've ever owned follows you, if your friends list follows you, if your achievements follow you, if your save follows you, you get where I'm going here, your subscriptions follow you, then what exactly is the next generation anymore? I mean, maybe we're moving away from traditional console generations entirely. Maybe Xbox becomes more like Steam, or every few years there's just newer hardware. You get better graphics, better performance, but your library never, ever, ever, ever resets. I'm down with that. That actually sounds very nice and appealing to me. Now, I know some people are going to say, Jimmy, this is just Microsoft's way of getting rid of discs. They're getting rid of physical media just like Sony, and they're wrapping it all up with word salad and all these things, and they're just pulling the wool over your eyes, Jimmy. It's the same thing Sony's doing. I completely disagree. I do. If any of this ends up being true that we just covered, this is not what Sony's doing, at least on the face, on the nose. And I think we're all smart enough to see where the industry is going. Digital sales, they dominate. Physical games continue to shrink every year. I know that. I mean, publishers love digital because they have zero manufacturing costs. And retailers, they're dedicating less and less shelf space to physical games than ever before, right? So whether we like it or not, the industry is moving towards digital. It has been. Reports have suggested that Project Helix itself may be even designed around a future without a built-in disk drive, although that's also been the subject of conflicting reports, so we don't really have any validation on that. The difference is Microsoft appears to be asking a question. How do we bring physical players with us? And that's great. Instead of abandoning them overnight, that's a huge distinction and takeaway for this video. I also think this gives Xbox something unique in the next console race. If Sony continues leaning hard into digital while Microsoft says, bring your Xbox history with you, guess what? That's a compelling message. I have a feeling, I'm not Nostradamus, but I think that bodes well for the whole which one do you buy next. Imagine somebody telling somebody they owned Xbox games since 2002 that those purchases still matter, those collections matter, those memories of yours, they matter. And I know there's lots of unanswered questions. How does disc to digital work? Can you convert the game and then sell the disc? Does the digital license remain attached to the disc? Can you transfer ownership? Tons of questions. Nothing official yet, but the leaked documents pointed toward a system where publishers opt in and then digital entitlements are created, but there's a lot of details we don't know. Sounds exciting. Lots of clarification still needed, but if we step back, I think this is probably the first Xbox leak in a while that has genuinely made me optimistic about the future of the platform. I don't think it's chasing PlayStation or trying to copy Nintendo or anything like that. I feel like Microsoft is actually trying to solve a problem that players have been talking about for years. What do we do with our physical libraries? So I'm going to turn it over to you guys. Would a feature like this convince you to stay with Xbox for the next gen? Would you convert your physical collection to digital if you had that option? Let me know in the comments. I read every single comment on every single video. I'll see you soon.